So this evening we're doing something quite remarkable. We're letting business leaders talk about their own mental health, how it's affected their personal lives, and also, more importantly, we'll be tackling one of the last taboos regarding mental health. We're talking about how this has affected them at work. As you'll appreciate at times, this might be quite candid, and I want to point out that we make absolutely no apology for doing so. We do have some ambassadors at the back of the room, so if anyone's finding it a bit tough regarding some of the things we're talking about, we do have people on hand to talk to you as well. So what qualifies me, Nick White, to be stood here talking to you guys about mental health? Well, this is my story. So I come from a family that has a history of depression, quite a big history of depression really. My father and my brother both exhibit signs of manic depression or bipolar disorder, and my brother specifically has struggled with this over the past couple of years. This has taken quite a big toll on my family, and this condition has kept him hospitalised for up to 8 weeks at a time, where he was placed in a cardiac ward. Now, I think there's no greater place to put someone who suffers with manic depression than on a ward where people keep dying in front of you day in and day out. That's not to take the mickey out of our NHS service, because they did the best that they could. They did the best for him, they did the best for us, and they gave us all the support they could give us. We did, during this time, manage to get him a set of tests at St George's in London. However, we had to wait up to 6 weeks for those tests to sort of take place. And this kind of all happened around the time that my brother had his first son, and he was exhibiting signs of non-epilepsy related seizures to deal with his mental health. So also there's no greater time to give someone a son than when they may fit and hit the floor at any time. So you can imagine the stresses we had in terms of keeping a young child away from his father. After a period of discharge and admission and discharge and admission, and with epilepsy and seizures being an outpatient thing, we kind of hit crisis point in our family. And I remember one day my sister-in-law phoned me and she said to me, your brother's just had another seizure. So I drove 120 miles down there, and my brother knew I was going to do this. I packed him an overnight bag, I picked him up, we drove 120 miles north, past the hospital he was admitted into, past another hospital, and I walked into St George's. And we walked into A&E, we went into triage. And I sat my brother on the bed, and I said to the nurse, this is my brother. He's called Andy, and we can't cope. And I turned around, and I walked out, and I left him there. Now that's quite emotional for me to tell you that, that's my story, and I'm not quite proud enough to sort of say, yeah, we did that was great. I'm a little bit kind of embarrassed that that's what we did. But it got him into a service, it got him into the system, and it got him looked after. And I'm pleased to say now that my brother is 2 years down the line, back in work. He's doing okay, but he's in a system. But that's mental health. And we're, I think, 30 years behind in terms of where we should be with mental health, in terms of physical health. So me being me, and some of you in the room will know me as well, came back to Guildford, sat in an office with a couple of people, and I said, what can we do? What can we do collectively to sort this out, or to help, or to sort of aid the NHS? And I sat in Guildford Borough Council, and there are lovely people like Ken Barty, who's just here, and some wonderful inspirational business people around the town, high in at the back, and we all got together and we set up Guildford First. Now, we haven't got any money, we know this, okay? We're in times of austerity. But the one thing Guildford does really well is it has community. And community is the greatest currency that this town has. And we clubbed together, and 18, 19 months later, since we started with Guildford First, we've put 300 people through our mental health first aid training. 95% of West Surrey youth workers have been through our first aid training. We have 22 businesses signed up to support us, not with money, but with their services. And that's why things like this can happen. And also we're proud to be with the Institute directors, with Minds at Work, to have This Is My Story this evening. And This Is My Story, this is our first one outside of one of the capital cities in the United Kingdom, so we're really proud of that. But that's